Hey everyone, I'm Tom Bryant and welcome to Frame Focus. Today, for video 2, we're going to still talk about creative composition, but of course we're not in Mother Nature this time. We are actually in downtown Cohoes, so we're going to do some urban shooting. Let's take a look and see what we can create with some more textures, some more lines and shapes, and also we're going to go into the rule of thirds. We're going to talk about that a little bit too. Follow me and let's go for a journey. So I keep talking about rule of thirds. What is the rule of thirds? Rule of thirds is actually a creative technique that photographers and artists use to better exemplify the work that they're doing. So for example, it draws your eye to the subject matter. And if you can kind of envision a tic-tac-toe board and you put that tic-tac-toe board over the top of your photograph, it's going to cut it up into basically 9 quadrants. And what that is your rule of thirds. So if you put your subject in the photograph about, I would say, a third, the upper third of the photograph, the lower third of the photograph, or left or right, you're going to get an image that is far more appealing and more eye candy, I guess, is what we're looking for. So let's follow along a little further. We'll take some more walk around the town and see if we can come up with that rule of thirds. All right? So we are at Canal Square here in downtown Cohoes, and what I want to talk to you about now is ISO range. When I talk about ISO range, I'm talking about light sensitivity, the sensitivity of light that goes into the camera. It hits the sensor or hits the film, depending on what you're using. When I talk about an ISO of 100, I'm talking about basically light sensitivity that is really not that sensitive at all. So what that's going to do is it's going to give you an image that has less grain. And it's also going to give you an image that is sharper in contrast and tone. Now, if I talk about an ISO range that is 800 to 1600, then I'm definitely talking about something that's going to give you more grain, a little bit of a softer image because of that grain, and that's going to affect the quality of the image that you have. So remember, when I talk about ISO, it's going to talk about not only light sensitivity, which I mentioned, but also the quality of the light. So if you have if you can get your camera to shoot lower, in terms of 100 to 200 ISO, maybe to 400 ISO, you're going to get an image that is more than likely more pleasing and sharper. If I talk about an image that is 800 to 1600, again, you're going to basically have more grain. Now that might be appealing to you. You might want more grain in your photograph depending on what you're looking for, but it's all pretty much creative preference. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at an image that has lesser grain, lower ISO, and one that has a little bit more grain, which has a higher ISO. And we'll see what's more appealing. See you soon. All right, so we just did some street photography, well, more urban photography, and we now are going to go back to the studio. We're going to see what we came up with. We're going to talk a little bit more about the photos we created, and we'll go from there. If you've wondered what we're using today for our photographs, we are using the Samsung NX1. It's a 28 megapixel camera. It has a 16 to 50 millimeter range lens on it, and pretty good size sensors, an APS-C size sensor, not quite full frame, but we don't need that for what we're doing today. Let's go back to the studio and we'll take a look at what we got. All right. Thanks again, guys, for stopping by and watching this video. I really, really appreciate it. Hopefully, again, you guys get something out of it. You get a little bit more inspired. We're going to go deeper and deeper into photography to try to find different ways to get creative with you and try to find new ways to get you excited about what photography is really all about. So if you like this video, please like us. If you love it, please subscribe. Stay tuned with us. We're going to bring you a lot more exciting things. Right now, we're just beginning, so it's going to get better and better as we go along. And of course, as I mentioned about YouTube, please like us on Facebook as well. It's Photo Frame Photography or Frame Focus. You can also check us out on our website at Photo Frame Photography, www.ph3pix.com. That's ph3pix.com. And again, see you guys next week.